Epic has finally listened to the community and they have released last night a huge nerf to the mechs, as well as a really unexpected change to the junk rift items. Yo guys, what is going on? Bobblez here. Yes, you heard that correctly. The mech has indeed not been bolted, but it's been nerfed one step at a time, guys. I'm really excited. I read through these patch notes last night. Thank you, Tomato, for informing me in this. I had no idea. I was in bed and he messaged me with the link to these patch notes. I was blown away. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm really damn hyped. I'm so excited about this nerf. It's definitely going to be changing the game up in a positive way. Thank goodness. One step at a time, like I was just saying, guys. Hopefully we should get a vault of these things at the end of the season, but for the majority of the rest of the season, it should be played a lot better because these changes are very damn good. So without further ado, guys, if you do go on to enjoy the video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button to show me that you did enjoy. Subscribe to me, obviously, for more Fortnite content if you want to know all of the news, leaks, updates, and all of that good stuff straight away when things happen in the world of Fortnite. Then make sure you do subscribe to not miss out. Turn on that little notification bell if you want to be notified as soon as my videos do go live. But anyway, guys, Creator Code Bobblez. Without further ado, let's crack on with these B.R.U.T.E changes. But here we go, guys. Here it is, B.R.U.T.E balance adjustments by the Fortnite team. Hey folks, we made several adjustments to the B.R.U.T E. These changes are now live in all the game modes and you do not need to download or patch your client. We will also be temporarily disabling, here we go guys, the junk rift for this weekend's FNCS tournament and arena playlists until the 10.20 update. So clearly this junk rift has got to have some sort of nerf to it, and that's why obviously they're saying in the 10.20 update, next week's one, it's going to be changing somehow. So until then, it's going to be vaulted. It's still going to be in normal core modes, but it's not in arena and it's not in tournaments. That's amazing. What a way to start off this video by telling you guys that little bit of good news. Let's get into all of the B.R.U.T E stuff here. B.R.U.T E decreased the maximum amount of rockets fired by the B.R.U.T E in a single charge from 10 to 6. This is amazing. So many people, including myself, have been saying how there's just too many rockets. You fire them while they're smashing through someone's build. By the time they're smashed through with about 6 rockets later, they're then just damaging you and they kill you. It's too overpowered. This is amazing. 6 is now the number of rockets she gets fired. Decrease the rate in which the rockets are fired from the B.R.U.T.Es by 56%. That is incredible. So obviously they've got a much slower fire rate now. Hopefully you can get that turbo build in time so you're not going to be absolutely smashed by these rockets. I did indeed say with that, our goal with these changes is to increase the back and forth between the users of the B.R.U.T E and the players they face. These changes allow the player on the receiving end of the missile volley to have more time to react and protect themselves. This is amazing. This is perfect. The B.R.U.T E, the thing is with the B.R.U.T E, it would have been a cool item at the start of the game if they didn't have these rockets, or if they had just the rockets at this rate. I feel like the B.R.U.T.Es wouldn't have been as hated as they are. So hopefully this is a great start to a positive change. Actually, yeah, I'm really happy. And now the next up here, decrease the radius of the B.R.U.T.'s rocket explosion by 42%. Our goal of this change is to improve consistency in understanding around focused barrages of missiles. B.R.U.T.s will continue to be a strong option against structures, but less lethal against players. Basically, in simple terms there's going to be a bigger radius of the explosion, so it's going to be focusing on the builds, but less so pinpointing directly on players, which is great. It's an amazing change. Again, all of these changes so far are great. Next one here, increase the dash cooldown from 3 seconds to 5 seconds. If you didn't know and you've been living in a bubble, then the B.R.U.T E actually dashes and pushes forward. It can break things in its way and deal damage. It's really overpowered. You now got to wait 5 seconds for this. Really damn cool. The previous dash cooldown not only increased the B.R.U.T.'s mobility, but it also made the B.R.U.T E a harder target to hit from distance than we had liked. The adjustment here reduces the ability to close gaps quickly while in a Brute, while also increasing the ability to land shots on target for players facing the Brute. This is great. Obviously, like it says there, Brutes would always be dashing out the way, getting out the way, and I'll be like, ah, when you're trying to shoot at them, especially if you've got a gun like the minigun or something, or the scoped AR, and you want to try and pinpoint them, and you can't because they're just dashing and jumping all over the place. This is great. 5-second cooldown is pretty damn neat. Next up here, decrease the velocity gains from boosting while in the air by 33%. We want to reduce a Brute's ability to engage and disengage at long distances to encourage a more strategic approach to an encounter. We generally will hope to shift Brutes away from becoming highly mobile and put more emphasis on their already defensive nature. This is great. So this is basically Fortnite saying that when Fortnite and Epic actually added Brutes into the game, they wanted them to be a kind of defensive mechanism, something where you could kind of get around the map quite nicely and be like a tank basically, not actually be overpoweredly strong and killing opponents, just more like a tank. And yeah, as you can see there, this is what they're trying to aim more so with this. So obviously, less of a boost is more kind of that tankiness, kind of slugging around the place. So again, another positive change there, guys. Next up here, the Brute no longer grants materials to the driver and passenger when stomping or dashing through the environment. Note, this change should roll out shortly following the other changes. Our goal is to add more tension between being in and out of a Brute, as well as reduce instances where players can farm faster than intended without exposing themselves to danger. Again, amazing. So you're going to have to get out the Brute now to farm mats. I'm very happy with this. It was far too overpowered, just stomping along and everyone getting mats. Never a good idea. It's basically encouraging more so players to be in these Brutes, so really happy about this one. Adjusted the variability of spawn rates from storm phases 1, 2 and 3 in core modes. Arena spawn rates will remain unchanged. So I'm going to throw up on the screen now all of the different storm phases, the 1, 2 and 3. You can see the old ones compared to the new ones. This is amazing. It's basically like what we've already had in Arena, but it's now in core modes, and this is a great change. Obviously, through each of the different storm phases, you're going to be getting less Brute, or less percentage of getting the Brutes. So next up here, guys, this one's a bit funny. Decrease the material cost of using the gunner's overshield from 200 to 75. So that's kind of a bit of a buff, but I'm not really too bothered about that. The overshield, I don't believe, is too used. I know I don't think I've ever used it. Probably a new move from myself, but yeah, you only need 75 materials now instead of 200. Kind of agree with that. I think 200 was just ridiculous anyway, and obviously they want this to be a more sluggish and tanky thing. So if you're going to be easier to hit these shields and break these shields, then you kind of need to, for being in a Brute, it to be an easy cost to basically replenish the shield. That's fine, nothing really too crazy about that. Finally, this next one is another buff, which is again kind of crazy, but it's nothing to really worry about too much. Increased the health of the Brute from 1000 to 1250. With the above changes, users of the Brute need to play a bit more strategic than before, so we want to give a little bit longer of a window to do so. Very simple, makes perfect sense. Obviously, you're going to be a lot harder to hit. You're going to be able to move out the way, obviously slower. The rockets aren't going to be too powered. So this is the perfect change, I think. In my opinion, anyway, I think they've absolutely smashed this whole patch notes, even though it's not a patch. I think they've honestly done a really good job. Thank you, Epic. And finally here, it's nothing to do with the Brute, it is to do with the Junk Rift, where it's been removed from the arena playlists. They basically said this is due to an audio issue caused when the portal is significantly higher than a player. So that's basically why they removed it. So obviously they're going to fix that in the 10.20 update. I do think they should actually nerf it as well, the damage to structures and players as well. If they don't, not the end of the world, but I'm very happy with all of these changes. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below about all of those changes, all that, everything. I know Fortnite is definitely looking more positive lately, as of from this update anyway. But finally here, guys, I just want to say a couple of little things on the whole news side of things to all you guys that stuck around to the end. First thing, the Rift Beacon has actually moved in the desert biome. It's kind of moved a little bit closer to the Truck and Oasis area. That's pretty cool. Nothing really too crazy. Obviously, the Rift Beacon has always been in there for a day or two now. So, I mean, yeah, that's cool. We should be seeing some sort of moisty, my fingers crossed, update to the game as of next update. Really exciting. And finally here, guys, Fortnite did actually tweet out, and Marshmallow has replied. I'm going to read it out to you guys. So Fortnite said, tomorrow Major Lazer is crashing the shop. Get ready for a new look, new moves, and new beats. Pretty generic, just advertising, obviously, the Major Lazer skin and bundle that's in the game. Creator Code Bobblez, if you do want to pick that up, it's a pretty damn epic bundle. But yeah, Marshmallow, he did indeed reply to this tweet from Fortnite, literally saying, Bolt the mech. So that's kind of crazy. Even Marshmallow saying it. He's not a pro Fortnite player, obviously, but he's definitely big in the music scene, and he's pretty big in the Fortnite. He's got his own skin in Fortnite, and even he's saying Bolt the mech. Obviously, this was before the update, so hopefully he's happy with all the changes that I talked about. But anyway, guys, that is all I've got for you guys today. Like I said earlier, smash the like button if you've enjoyed. Subscribe to me for more Fortnite content. Creator Code Bobblez and the Fortnite item shop to help support me. But anyway, guys, thank you all for watching, and until next time, see ya.